Hello and good morning. My name is John Barley and welcome to this product analysis for FS22. Today we're talking about wheel loaders. The reason we are talking about wheel loaders is the fact that on my recent Let's Play on Silver Löpening Skog or Silver Rock Forest, I have a bit of an issue with my wheel loader. I personally think it's too light, and that is the reason why I thought, well, let's give it a try and take a look at the wheel loaders we have in-game. And we are not talking about this time standard in-game wheel loaders, we are also talking about modded wheel loaders. So if you watched my channel before and seen the FS19 videos, you know that I normally stick only to the standard in-game stuff, but for this time, for this video, we will also do some modded wheel loaders. So I took a quick walk around, so you have seen them all. Every wheel loader has the same bucket. It is the McCormick, high tip bucket, 4,000 liter capacity, and it's filled with iron ore. This bucket now with the iron ore weighs, or the iron ore itself weighs 7.4 tons. How do I know? If we go here into wheel loader tools, you can see there that the weight of the buckets is now supposed to be 9.1 tons, and here is one with 1.7 tons. This is the empty bucket, so the difference between these two weights is 7.4 tons. This is the empty one over there. We will talk about this in a second. I also came up with the idea of doing this with trailers. We have one here which has the 4,000 liters of iron ore in it, and one which is empty. But when we take a look at the trailers, the empty one says 2.4 tons and the filled one says 8 tons. So we are that's 5.6 tons difference, so it doesn't match up properly. So the reason how I also figured out the weight is with this scale. You can see we have a wheel loader, the class Trion 956 Xenos. We will not talk about this one for a specific reason, which is its weight. If we take a look in the shop, we can take at the least ones. Where is it? Here you can see it weighs 9.5 tons. So it's a very light wheel loader. All the other ones here we have 15 tons, 13 tons and 19 tons. So the other ones are much heavier, and that's why they can carry more weight. So this scale tells us 11,800 and a little bit of weight. So 9.1 tons for the machine and a little bit for the bucket. And if we fill it now with iron ore, we are at 18,200 tons, 18,200 kilo, or 18.2 tons, which matches up with the 7.4 tons of weight of the material in that bucket. And here's also one reason why we won't use this wheel loader. Simply, it's, well, I mean, it now has basically its own weight in its bucket, and this doesn't work like that. So that's why we are talking about the big wheel loaders today. We have here, as you can see on the license plate, this is a modded vehicle. It's the Lizard wheel loader by North Modding Company, and it has a weight of 15.4 tons. Here another mod. This is the JCB 419S by Ross N Mods. This weighs 13.2 tons. And here in game, this is the class Trion 1511, 14.5 tons, standard in game equipment. So let's take a little test of the gear lifting capacity. So as you can see, it struggles. It struggles with the 7.4 tons weight on the bucket. Let's test the JCB. You can see the difference, and this works much better. I mean, the real weights tip a little bit up, but based on the fact that this machine is 13.2 tons compared to 14.5 tons, this works much better. And now we have the Lizard wheel loader by North Modding Company. Also, it's capable of lifting the 7.2 tons completely. One thing I realized with this wheel loader, when you drive it, it's a little bit wobbly. You see, you have a slip on the rear wheels because the rear wheels lift up a little bit. Yeah, so this is what I found driving down with this wheel loader here. And now let's take a look how the JCB drives, for instance. Bucket up. And this drive, I mean, it also has a little bit of slip on the wheels. I mean, you can see they are a little bit off the ground as well, but from my personal opinion, I think this one drives much better than the other one. So let's talk about prices. So prices. The Class Tryon, so the base game machine without the bucket or any other modifications, is 180,500. The JCB by Ross & Moores is 175,000, and the Lizard wheel loader standard without any modifications is 165,000. Although this one has a ton of options to choose from, this has a decent amount. If you go for another color, for example, love different rim colors, you can bring the price right up. And this, as most of the standard in-game equipment, there are some options, but not as many as you have with some mods. So this, for my opinion, the best lifting capacity has this JCB, the 419S by Ross & Mods. Second place, I say, is the Lizard wheel loader by North Modding Company, and on third is the standard in-game Class Tryon. This is purely subjective, my own personal opinion. You may disagree with it, but I'm just telling you what I figured out to be the case. So here we have a wheel loader from the Platinum expansion. This is the Volvo L180H. This beast weighs 27.1 ton. It has basically no competitor in the game. That's why it's standing here a little bit on its own. As you can see, has no issue whatsoever tipping the bucket. The rear, there a little bit were able to get the rear wheels off the ground, but as a matter of fact, this 7.4 tons in that bucket here, this machine has basically no issues with it. But this comes at a price. With 304,000 euros for this machine, it's basically the most expensive machine which we have on display here today. So now we are coming to this group. These are in total 7 machines, which are all around the 19 to 20 ton weight class. Speaking about class, the first machine we have here is the Class Tryon 1914, standard in-game machine by Giants Software, 19.7 tons. Here we have the JCB 435S. This is by Red Cat 3D Pixel Designs, 19.3 tons. Yeah. This is also a Class Triumph 1940, but this one is by the model HR Forst in Fahrzeugbau, 19.7 tons. This is a New Holland W190D. This is by Nico Pixis, 19.6 tons. This is the Volvo L120H, Platinum Expansion Vehicle, so standard in-game, 19.4 tons. This is another New Holland W190D, but this is the one by Giants Software, so I'd say it's the standard in-game. It's also a mod you can download from the mod hub, but it's basically the same vehicle like this one over here, but you can see here from the color you have some more choices with it, but I consider this standard in-game because it's from Giant Software, and it's also 9.6 tons. And last but not least, we have the Liebherr X-Power. So the Liebherr 5500, it's by, was it, Woodcraft Modding, 19.9 tons. So basically the heaviest machine of the bunch, but as I said, all do range in the 19 to 20 ton class. So let's give it a try with the lifting capacities. First, the standard in-game one. Works absolutely brilliant. If you switch the lifting here, you can get the rear wheels to lift a little bit up, but it's no big deal. Now the JCB, and here you can see what I thought to be the case in my Let's Play. I think there's something off with the weight. I mean, that JCB is supposed to weight 19.3 tons, so basically only a little bit less than the class with 19.7, but it's totally behaves totally different from the other machine. So next, the modded Torion 1914. And as you can see, yeah, you can, if you want to, make the rear wheels lift up, but it works much better, in my opinion, than what we just saw with the JCB. Next, the New Holland W190D by, was it by, no, that's not the Giants one. This is by Nico Pixis, yes. Zooming a little bit. 19.6 tons, and compared to the 19.7 tons class, I personally think it handles way better. Lifts the rear wheels only. Lifts up the wheels only a little bit. Now, the Volvo L120H Platinum Expansion Vehicle, 19.4 tons. So basically, just like the JCB with 19.3 tons, but behaves totally different. Next up, the Giants New Holland W190D. Basically just like the modded one, 19.6 tons, but it behaves just as the Volvo before and the modded New Holland as well. And The Liebherr by Woodcraft Modding, 19.9 tons, so the heaviest machine. Also a little bit different. I think it lifts a little bit higher the rear wheels like the others do, but not significantly more, maybe, I don't know, but I think also that's so. From what I saw so far, my personal opinion is that the Trions, the modded one as well as the standard in-game one and this JCB seem to have a little bit different weights than the other machines. For example, I mean, these ones are supposed to weigh 19.7 tons, and these 19.4 ton, 19.6 ton New Holland, or at least, what's it, 19.6? 19.6 for the modded one. No, 19.6. So these 19.6 compared to these 19.7 ones behave much better, although they are 100 kilos lighter. And well, the JCB, as much as I like this machine with its 19.3 tons, behaves totally different. Now, let's talk about prices. Class Trion, the standard in-game one, as well as the modded one, is 248,500, so basically $250,000. With the HR Force in Fahrzeugbau ones with a ton of options, you can bring that price right up. The JCB is 184,000, so 60,000 euros less than these two, but as I said, I personally think it doesn't behave too well. The Volvo LH120 is 252,000, so even a little bit more expensive than the class ones. The Liebherr one is 245,000 euros, so a little bit less. So, but basically this has also a lot of options. So basically, the Liebherr, the Volvo, and the class are in the same price range. But what it's totally in a different price range is the New Holland. The standard in-game one, this is the standard in-game one, as well as the modded one, start at 176,000, so even less than the JCB. So basically, from my personal opinion, this is in this 19 to 20 ton category the best wheel loader we have in-game. Speaking about in-game, if you now made up your mind and said, okay, I will have one, personal opinion, don't need to stick this, I would say go for the Micropixels one, because first it has a ton of options more, and if you are on console just like me, the Micropixels one with that large amount of options is only 13 slots, whereas the standard in-game one is 55 slots. I'm not kidding, it's really like that. If you go to the menu here, so here are the twos, you see 13 slots, 55 slots, but this is the Micropixels ones. I could now easily return this, and you will see this one with the 13 slots remains. And if we go to the menu, to the configurations menu, so this is the standard in-game by Giant, so you only have a couple of tire options and that's it. But with this one you have beacons, yes or no, couple of tire options, or lots of tire options, but basically maybe these are identical to the standard in-game, I don't know. Window decoration, yes or no. Position of the beacons, front or rear, you can choose this. LED beacon or standard beacon. You can choose the main color and you can choose the rim color, and you have the lights there. So only 13 slots, ton of options more. Definitely my personal winner of this competition of the wheel loaders, but in place 2 basically is the standard in-game one, because it's basically the same machine but has less options, same price, and but more slots. That's it, but more slots. And from then basically they all rank more. They are doing the same job, I think more or less equally, the Liebherr as well as the Volvo and the two class ones. Unfortunately, my personal favorite, the JCB, is a little bit off tracks despite having still a lower price than all the other ones. But I think it's too light. Something's wrong with the weight of this mod. Yeah, but that's it. This is my ranking, my analysis of the standard in-game wheel loaders as well as some modded wheel loaders. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, or even do subscribe. Don't drive when you're drunk, and until next time, bye bye.